All right. Good afternoon. Hey, Marianne. So if you are joining from home, maybe have a blanket and a couple of blocks or stacked books to help rise up the floor. So it's a gentle class. So it is designed to be gentle. Anyway, we're going to start in a seated position. Did someone else show up? Okay. So it's good to see some returning faces and some new faces. My name is Brenda. This is going to be my new weekly class on Wednesdays at noon. It's gentle with some flow still in it. That's kind of how I teach, breath synchronized to movement, but please take it where you need to this afternoon. It'll be a slower pace than my usual Thursday 9 a.m. class, just to kind of help ground you to get ready for the rest of your day, wherever you came from. And so we're going to start in a seat. If cross-legged doesn't feel good to you, feel free to come into a kneeling posture if that feels better. If you find when you sit cross-legged, hi there, come on in. If you find when you sit cross-legged, your low back kind of rolls or rounds and your knees are up kind of high, maybe sit on the edge of a blanket. And that can help kind of roll the pelvis forward. We're going to start with just some centering in and some breath work, and we'll get into some postures. So find your seat, whatever that is. Hands could be down for more of like a grounding position. If you've had a really busy morning, maybe you just need to feel like you need to settle in a little bit more. If you are ready to receive and be in this more open space, then palms can shine up toward the sky. It's just kind of an intuitive call. Don't think too much about it. And then when you're ready, close the eyes down. And as we close the eyes or a soft gaze in front, begin to deepen your breath. Really feel the low belly fill up with air. And then a very drawn out exhale. See if you can make your exhale slightly longer than your inhale. This will just help send a signal to the nervous system that it's time and it's safe to calm down. When you exhale, notice your shoulders soften. Notice your upper back relax. And then draw awareness to your face. Notice if you're holding any tension, perhaps in your jaw or around your eyes or your forehead. And on your exhale, see if you can soften any muscle tension in the face. Maybe the tongue drops down. Couple more full and deep breaths. Every time we deepen our breath and become more conscious of how we breathe, we are inviting in what the yogis call a sacred space. We don't do this as often for ourselves as we would like. We just kind of roll on to the next thing, next thing, next thing. But so often we need to pause and notice the details of our breath, the details of how our muscles feel, even the small muscles around the face and the jaw. And give yourself this next hour to be as fully present as you possibly can. No expectations, no judgments. Just being here. Drawing in another deep breath in through the nose. When you're ready, open mouth, exhale, release. And then sealing the lips, breathing in and out of the nose, but you'll still feel as if your mouth was open, and you'll feel this kind of slight throat constriction at the back of the throat. Your exhale will sound kind of like an ocean wave kind of sound. And then you can keep the eyes closed if you'd like, or you can just blink them slightly open on your next inhale. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms out and up, fill all up that energy around you. And then exhale, bring the hands together at heart center. Pull the thumbs into the heart space. Allow this to be your moment to set an intention. This is just a short word or a phrase, something positive that you wish to cultivate in your life. It could be something simple as breathe, or peace, or joy, whatever you would like to call in. Our thoughts are some of our most powerful energy. And we always have choice of what we would like to think. Exhale out. On the inhale again, sweep the arms out and up, fill up all that energy. Place your intention in that space. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. This time a little bit different. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. This time, exhale, twist to the right, opposite hand to knee, looking over that back shoulder. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Inhale, sweeping back, arms up toward the sky, rotate to center. And then other side, twisting to the left. Deep breath in. Exhale. And then inhale, sweeping up toward the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Hands just land down in front of you. Release the head and neck. Option to sway a little side to side if you would like. Or you could remain stationary if you feel like you need more stillness. Invite that in. So what I say during this class are all suggestions. So if you want to change up a posture, please feel free to do so. Exhale fully. On the inhale, rising on up, fingertips reach up to the sky. We're going to circle the arms behind you, fingertips away from you. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Bring the heart and the gaze up toward the sky. Deep breath in. Exhale. The inhale, chin comes back in. Bring the hands to the side. Spine is nice and tall. I'm doing this, some stretching out the neck for me. Shoveling has that effect on my neck. So drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Really lengthen out. And then we're going to move inch by inch because neck muscles are a bit tenacious. They'll stay stubborn. You're going to slowly dip the chin downward. Again, paying attention to the details. Pausing when you feel like there is a spot that is really constricted feeling. Pause there, and can you be in that space, breathing deep. Whenever you do get to the center of the chest, really tuck the chin in so you can even feel the stretch down into the upper back. And then rolling up the other side. Pausing wherever you need. Give yourself anywhere from 3 to 5 more breaths, exploring areas in your neck and upper traps that need a little extra love. And then slowly make your way back to a neutral head position. Take your time to get there. And then if you are sitting cross-legged, we're just going to switch the cross of the leg. So opposite leg in front, root down through the sit bones. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring that intention into the heart space. Again, inhale, sweeping arms out and up. This time, right arm comes down to the side, leaning over to the right. Root down through both sit bones. Deep breath in. Exhale out. And then bottom arm reaches back up, lengthen first. Right arm comes down, leaning over right. Breathe into that right rib cage. Exhale. Inhale, bottom arm reaches up. Circling the arms back behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades, bring the heart toward the sky, chin can come up. Option here, and it's just an option, you can lift the hips coming up onto the knees. Again, just an option, hips could stay down. One more breath. On the inhale, chin tucks back in, and then exhale, lower the hips down if you've lifted them. Arms sweep out and up again. And then exhale, forward fold. Release the head and neck. Same option as before, you could sway if that feels good. You could remain stationary if you need more stillness. How can you be in your body? So often we walk around with so many thoughts in our head and we start believing that we are those thoughts. And we forget that we even have a body at some times. Exhale. On the inhale, rising back up. Fingertips reach up to the sky, lengthen, maybe the gaze comes up. Exhale, hands come to heart center, pulling that intention in. One deep breath in. Cleansing breath out. Let's come off of our seat and come onto a tabletop position. So you could roll over the knees or you could bring the knees to the side. Option to use your blanket for a little padding underneath the knees. So because it is definitely, we're in boot season, we're going to stretch out our calves first. The calves, the back of the lower legs can get shortened when we put our feet or legs, in long boots. So let's extend the right leg long, keep the right toes tucked onto the mat, and then lean on back. So I want you to push into that right big toe. See if you can lengthen out the lower leg, the back of the lower leg. One more deep breath. On the inhale, shifting forward, line up your wrists and shoulders. Fingers are spread nice and wide. We're gonna lift up that right leg. Engage the core, so belly button to spine. Flex that right foot. Draw all the toes down toward the mat. Stay right here, option into balance table. So lifting that left arm, bringing it toward me. Again, core is engaged, breath is smooth and fluid. Stay for an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bringing that left hand down. Right leg is gonna come behind your left hamstring, crossing to the left, and then you're gonna look over your left shoulder. Breathe into that right rib cage. So it should be all the way from your right hip bone, all the way up the right side body. Use your inhale to expand. One more deep breath. Exhale it out. On the inhale, gently picking up that right leg, bring it to center. And then right knee comes down to meet the left. Before we get to the other side, knees come wide, bring the big toes in, press back child's pose, hips come to the heels. Give yourself a moment to reset. Notice the right side of your body. Now that we've lengthened out that right side, just kind of notice how it feels compared to the left. And without judgment, just being curious about it. Bring back your intention with one more deep breath. When you're ready to inhale, rising back up into table. Line up the wrists and shoulders again, all that fun. Other leg. So we'll extend the left leg long, keep the left toes tucked onto the mat, and then lean back, push into your left big toe. So your shoulders are behind your wrists. Give it a couple breaths here. Exhale it out. On the inhale, shifting forward, line up the wrists and the shoulders, picking up that left leg, flex the foot, draw the belly button up toward the spine. That keeps your low back in integrity. Stay right here or lift the opposite right arm towards knee into balance table. Couple deep breaths, smooth and fluid. Stay for an inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, right hand comes down. Keep the left leg floating. You're going to bring it behind the right hamstring to the right. And then exhale, look over your right shoulder. Now you get to breathe into the left side body. So all the way from that left hip, all the way up the side. Use your inhale to expand. Use your exhale to soften. One more cycle of breath. And on the inhale, picking up that left leg, bring it back to center. Lengthen here. And then bringing that left knee down to meet the right. From here, cat-cow. So we'll inhale, drop the belly, shift the gaze forward. Exhale, round it out, tuck the chin into the chest. And just moving at your own breath pace. So it might be different than mine or your neighbors. Option to move side to side or rolling movements if that feels good. Just kind of really getting into the spine. Getting the head and neck involved if that feels good as well. And then evening out if you're going from side to side, just so each side gets equal amount of time. We'll meet back in our neutral tabletop position. From table, hips and knees stay as they are. You're going to walk your hands out about a foot in front of you, coming into puppy. You may need a block for this one. You're going to lower the forehead down, keeping the hips high. If the forehead doesn't easily reach the mat, grab that block, slide it underneath, just so your forehead is supported on something. So that gives your neck support. See if you can lengthen out in the spine. Just be mindful, not too much of a sway in the low back. So again, draw that belly button just slightly up toward the spine. So you have some lumbar support. One more deep cycle of breath. And then from here, engage the core a little bit more, press into the hands, walk the hands back about halfway. So not all the way stacked wrist over shoulders, but wrist slightly forward of the shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes, maybe spread the toes really good. Downward facing dog, hips come high, keep the knees bent. And then once your hips are as high as they will go, then you can pedal out through the heels, dropping one heel and the other. Keep in mind that downward dog is always an option. You can always come into child's pose instead. Couple more breaths in your down dog. Maybe you choose to come to stillness if you're ready. And then from down dog, lifting the heels and just baby step your way up to meet your hands. However many steps that takes, Hang in a forward fold at the top of your mat. Move any props out of the way off the mat. Blocks are up at the top of the mat, maybe one on each side. You could sway side to side if that feels good. Option to ragdoll the arms, so bending the elbows, clasping each elbow. One more deep breath in. Releasing breath out. On your inhale, either arms are long or place them on your thighs for support. We're gonna roll up one vertebrae at a time. No rush to get there. Find yourself in mountain with feet about hip width apart. And then really root down through the feet. Make sure they're parallel, not any weird toes moving in or out. Maybe pick up the toes, spread them as much as you can and set them back down. Close the eyes for a moment. Just kind of notice the energy you've created so far. Your breath is slow and smooth and fluid. Drawing your tailbone down just slightly so you can feel that slight activation of your pelvic floor muscles that'll help support your low back. Heart is open, crown of the head rises toward the sky. If you notice that your chin or your head is slightly forward, maybe draw the chin back slightly, not in a rigid way, but just in a way that feels more in line with the rest of your spine. This helps prevent from us always kind of jutting our chin forward, looking at our phones. Deep breath in, cleansing breath out. We'll begin some soft sun salutations. Inhale, arms rise out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands can fly open or move through heart center. From here, inhale, half lift. Hands are below the knees, spine is nice and tall. Exhale, fold. From here, plant the hands, send the right leg back. So big step back with the right leg. Grab your blocks if you have tight hamstrings. And then we're gonna bring your heart and your gaze forward. Bring the back knee down. Welcome to your right hip flexor. If you sit a lot, this is a stretch you need to do every day, many times. So line up the front knee and ankle just so they're in alignment, just so the knee isn't forward. That brings less pressure to the kneecap. Hands could stay on blocks, any height, or maybe you bring the hands to the top thigh as an option. If you're feeling more energized, you could bring the fingertips up toward the sky. It's all just options. You've got about 2 to 3 breaths here. Breathe deep into that low belly, opening up that right side. Back toes are tucked or untucked. That's just personal preference, whatever gives you more stability. Can you allow your gaze to soften? We spend enough time scrolling. Can you focus on one spot? Deep breath in. Exhale out, hands land down either on the mat or on your blocks. We're gonna pick up this back knee. Exhale, straighten the front leg, folding in. One more breath here. Exhale. On the inhale, bend into that, front knee again. And then either blocks or no, actually move the blocks out to the side. We're gonna step back. I promise sun salutations, but gentle ones. So knees come down, elbows squeeze in, lower all the way down to the belly. Release the toes, 3 baby cobras. So inhale, lifting the chest just slightly, elbows squeeze in. Exhale, lower. And just 2 more times at your own pace, making sure elbows are drawing inward, not splaying out. Final cobra. Once you finished your 3rd one, toes tuck. Press back through table to your choice of down dog or child's pose. So you decide which posture you'd like for these few breaths. Gentle can mean different things to different people. From downward facing dog, we'll all meet there for one more breath. On the inhale, heels lift, knees bend, travel up to meet your hands. You could walk or you could float. Inhale, half lift, nice tall spine, hands below the knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising on up, either hands to heart center or out to the side. Exhale, hands to heart. Pull that intention and draw it in intentionally. Then we get to do the other side. Inhale, arms rise out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands, blocks or no blocks. Step the left leg back this time. Nice big step back. Bring your heart and your gaze forward to lengthen the spine, then bring the back knee down. Front ankle and knee are in alignment, just so the knee isn't forward. And then decide, hands could stay on blocks if you would prefer. Hands could come up to that front thigh. If you want some more activation, arms could reach up overhead. You decide, shoulders are soft, gaze is soft. Few deep breaths here. You can open up that left side of the low belly down into the low hip flexor. One more deep breath. On your exhale, hands land down if you've lifted them, picking up this back knee, and then straightening this front leg, folding in. Exhale it out. On the inhale, front knee bends. Plant the hands to frame the front foot, stepping back plank. Bringing the knees down, elbows squeeze in, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, just one cobra this time, maybe a little bit bigger if you're feeling it. If not, no worries. Exhale, lower. Press back through table. Again, your choice, either child's pose or downward facing dog. Few breaths here. Let's all meet one more breath, downward facing dog. On your inhale, heels lift, knees bend, travel up to meet your hands. Inhale to half lift, nice tall spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising on up. Fingertips reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pausing here for a breath. Once again, noticing the energy you've created. Notice how much more you feel in your body. And we'll add on. Exhale first. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, draw the core up and in. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, right leg takes a big step back. So if you're in a setup for a high lunge, so engage your core. Hands could either come onto the thigh with your torso up, hands at heart center, or fingertips could reach up overhead. You decide. Shoulders are soft. Settle in here for a couple deep breaths. Exhale. Stay for an inhale. And then here we're going to open up to warrior two. So spinning that back foot, line up the front heel and the back arch. Arms extend out to a T. Shoulders are soft. So really kind of roll the shoulders back and down. Get your back arm just to see if it's in line with your front arm. Sometimes that back arm can kind of dip down a little bit. Gazes over the front fingertips. Stay for one more inhale. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. You're gonna keep pivoting to the right, but parallel the feet. Hands are gonna come onto the waistline. Roll the shoulders back and down. So gentle back bend, super gentle, heart to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands down till they touch the floor or your block. You decide. Let the head and neck release. Give it a shake out. One more breath. From here, inhale, half lift. And you're going to pivot back towards the front of your mat into your runner's lunge. So knees bent, pivot that back foot up on the ball. Frame your hands to that front foot, stepping back plank. Knees can be down or up. You decide. We're going to lower all the way down. Release the toes. Inhale, gentle cobra. Elbows stay squeezed in. Exhale to fold. And tuck the toes again. Press back, your choice. Child's pose or downward facing dog. Few breaths here. We all meet in downward facing dog for one more breath. On the inhale, heels lift, knees bend, travel up to meet your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Give yourself one cycle of breath here. And then we get to do the other side. Inhale, arms rise out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands, left leg takes a big step back. Setting up for your high lunge on this side. As you rise your torso up, hands could stay on the front thigh, heart center, or arms reach up overhead. See if you can really feel solid and strong in your legs. Hips are squared forward and bright and open in your chest. Gaze is soft, one spot. One more cycle of breath. Stay for an inhale. On your exhale, setting up for warrior two. Spinning that back foot, line up the front heel, back arch. Bend into that front knee, arms come to a T. Again, roll the shoulders back and down, soften, soften. Back arm is in line with the front arm. One more deep breath. Feel your strength. Feel your breath smooth and fluid. And exhale, hands are going to come into heart center. We're going to spin to the left, parallel the feet. Different options with arms. This time you could place them back on your hips if you like that before. If you want a little bit more of a chest opening, hands can clasp behind the back or elbow to elbow. Roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, heart to sky. And then exhale, forward fold. Shake out the head and neck if you need. On your next exhale, if your hands are clasped, release them down to the earth. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale, pivot to the front of the mat, runner's lunge. Frame that front foot, stepping back plank. And then moving through a vinyasa again. If you wish, knees could come down or they could stay straight. Elbows squeeze in, lower on down. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale, coming back into either child's pose or downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, one breath here. From here, bend your knees a little bit and you're gonna walk your hands back to your feet. Hang in your forward fold at the back of your mat. Sway a little bit if you'd like. And then from here, you're gonna heel toe your feet out a little wider than hip width apart. Heels are gonna be in, toes are gonna be out, coming into your yogi squat. So you may need a block for this as a perch, it's just an option. Depending on how your knee health is, you're gonna start bending your knees. Forearms could rest onto the thighs, and you could be right here. If you want to use your block or a couple of blocks as a perch, sink the hips a little bit lower. Elbows come to the insides of the knees. Hands come to heart center. Gentle pressure, keyword gentle. Inner thigh and groin muscles do not like to be forced. So just gentle pressure, opening up the knees. Couple deep breaths here. On the exhale, hands land down. Slowly straighten the legs. Parallel the feet. And then we're going to inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. So you're still at mountain at the back of your mat. Shoulders release back and down. Bring the feet in a little bit, about hip width. We're going to walk our balance forward. It's one of my favorite ways to do balance postures. So we're going to lean into that right foot, plant through the right foot, bend the left knee. And then you could stay right here with the toes on the ground, or you could pick up that left leg. 90-degree angle from your left hip, knee to ankle, flex the left foot. Hands come to heart center. Option to stay right here. Option to lift the arms up overhead. This is all layered, so you can always stop at any one point. Option to stay here, or option to open arm twist to the left. So left arm comes back, right arm comes forward. One more deep breath. Inhale, rotate back to center. Exhale, hands come to heart center, small step forward, heel arch, ball of the foot, plant through that left foot. And then bringing that right knee through. Again, same option, big toes could stay down, or you could lift up that right leg with 90-degree angle. Stay here, or option, lift fingertips up overhead. Option to stay right here, or open arm twist to the right, right arm back, left arm forward. Inhale, sweeping through center. Exhale, hands to heart, stepping forward, right heel arch, ball of the foot, plant it down. Starting again, bringing that left knee forward. Option to lift the left foot, 90-degree angle. Option to bring arms up overhead. Option, open arm twist to the left. Inhale, rotate back through center. A little bit different this time. Option to stay right here or come into warrior three. Hands come to heart center, kick that left foot back. It might just be a slight lean forward. Take it as gentle as you would like. Option to open up arms like wings or to keep them at heart center. One more breath wherever you're at. On your inhale, bringing that left leg through. You can touch down if you would like. 90-degree angle. And then stepping down. Plant through the left foot. Right knee comes through. 90-degree angle. Option to stay here. Option to lift arms up overhead. Open arm twist to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, hands to heart. Stay right here, or warrior three. Leaning forward, kicking that right leg back. By kicking, I don't mean like actually kicking, or like flowing it through. Can just be a slight lean forward if you'd like. You could open up the arms like airplane wings if you'd like. Just breathing smooth and fluid. One more breath, you've got it. Exhale. On the inhale, rising on up, right knee comes forward. 90-degree angle. And then right leg meets left. Shake it out. Nice work. All right, we'll take it down to the mat. Inhale, arms rise out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Plant both your hands, step both feet back. Just transitioning into plank for a moment to come all the way down to the belly. So you decide how you'd like to get there. You can make it more strong through a chaturanga, or you can just gently come down. Bring one ear to the mat, arms long by your side. Give yourself a moment here to just connect your heartbeat into the earth. Feel your belly press in as you inhale and soften as you exhale. We're going to come into one round of locust, which is floating legs and arms off the ground. So if you have any low back issues, I would suggest placing your feet like mat width, so your feet are wider than hip width apart. Gives a little bit more of a release to the low back. Bring the chin to the mat. Options for arms, our fingertips can be long by your side, or again, like airplane wings as we did in warrior, or up overhead. So on your next inhale, floating the chest and the legs up off the ground. You decide which arm position you would prefer. Stay for one more cycle of breath. Whenever your exhale comes, softly landing down, other ear to the mat. If you'd like, bend the knees, tick-tock the feet from side to side. And then eventually feet come back down to the mat. Hands come underneath the shoulders. We're going to press back. Knees come wide, child's pose. Hips come toward the heels. Settle in here. One more breath. On your inhale, walk your hands back towards yourself. And then bring your legs out underneath from you. We're gonna come onto our backs. Grab one of your blocks and then roll down onto your back. Once your spine is on the mat, let's massage that out a little bit. Tuck the knees into the chest. Rock a little side to side. Maybe make some circles. And then land the feet down onto the mat. Knees are bent. Walk the heels back so that knees and ankles are in alignment. We're going to come into one round of bridge. You can use your block to make this a more restorative or gentle option if you would like. So with arms long by your side, we're going to inhale, lift the hips up. Option to take that block, slide it underneath the sacrum, so down by the tailbone, either the first or second height. I wouldn't recommend the tallest height, it's a little narrow. If you would like this to be more of an active bridge, really engage the hamstrings, and you can roll one shoulder and the other underneath, clasping the hands underneath the back. So you decide. You want something more restorative or more active. Really broaden through your collarbones. Couple more full and deep breaths. If you are in the restorative bridge with the block, stay where you are at. If you're in an active bridge, release the hands, lower on down. And I'm going to have you grab your block and come into a restorative bridge with us. We're going to do a modified shoulder stand. So everyone has their block underneath their sacrum. And you could stay right here if you'd like, with the feet planted on the earth. If you'd like a little more air, lifting one leg up and the other. Coming into a modified shoulder stand. Feel free to roll out the ankles. You could have a little fun with the legs, moving them out and in or crisscrossing them, just to help stimulate that blood flow into the heart and the head. Couple more breaths. And then bending the knees in and setting the soles of the feet down back onto the earth. Pause here for a moment. And inhale, lift the hips up just enough to slide the block out. Slowly lower the hips down, one vertebrae at a time. Once your spine is all the way on the mat, knees tick-tock from side to side. Evening out from each side. And then knees come back to center. Let's hug the right knee into the chest. Use your interlaced hands at the shin to draw that right knee in. Feel the low right side of the low back nestle into the earth. And then from here, coming into a figure four. So you're going to externally rotate that right hip so the outside of the right ankle lands on the left thigh. Flex that right foot. You could keep the left sole of the foot planted, or to intensify, lifting up that left leg. Bring the hands through to interlace at the left hamstring or shin. Shoulders soften and relax. A few deep breaths here. Couple more breaths. Notice where your mind has traveled to. Decide if that's where you would like it to be. Perhaps use your intention to bring yourself back to this moment. And then from this figure 4, if your hands are interlaced, release them and bring that left sole of the foot down. You're going to cross the right leg all the way over the left, setting up for a twist. Now, if you don't like your legs crossed over in a twist, you can unravel them and stack them instead. But arms come out to a T. And then from here, rotating to the left. Gaze can be up at the sky or over your right shoulder. Deep belly breath. One more breath. Exhale first. On your inhale, engage your core just enough to bring the knees back through center. If they're still crossed, uncross them. Give the knees a good hug into the chest, kind of massage out the low back again. Now this time, keep the left knee in. Bring the right sole of the foot down, right knee bent. One more squeeze into that left knee. Feel the left side of the low back relax down into the earth. And then figure 4 on this side. So externally rotating the left hip. So outside of left ankle lands on the top of the right thigh. Flex that left foot. Right foot could stay planted if that's enough of a hip opener for you, or you can lift up that right leg. Weave the hands through, interlacing the hands at the right hamstring or shin. Soften the shoulders down. Feel the upper back relax. Come back to that intention every time the mind wanders in the direction that it just habitually goes to. It's not who you are. It's usually just a habit we've picked up along the way. We can always change habits, no matter how ingrained they are. It takes a little patience, a little persistence. One more slow cycle of breath. Inhale and exhale. And if the hands are interlaced, release them. Bring that right foot down just enough to cross the left leg all the way over the right. Arms come out to a T. And then twisting to the right. Both knees come to the right side. And again, if you don't like the legs crossed in the twist, feel free to stack them instead. Couple more full and deep breaths. Exhale it out first. On your inhale, engage your core just enough to bring the knees back to center. Unravel the knees. Bring both knees into the chest, but bring them wide, setting up for happy baby. So reaching down to both soles of the feet. Flex the feet and bring the soles of the feet to the sky. Option to rock side to side or option to stay stationary. Deep breath in, cleansing breath out. And then bring the soles of the feet together and the outer arches of the feet come down into your lying butterfly. Placing one hand on heart, one hand on belly. If you're comfortable closing the eyes down, if they're not already, we're going to go into a metta or loving kindness meditation. So allow my words to become your words as we move through this meditation of compassion for ourselves and others. If at any point butterfly doesn't feel comfortable to you anymore, feel free to straighten the legs. So we'll begin by picturing yourself in your very best light and saying to yourself, may I be happy. May I be safe. May I be at peace. And then picturing a loved one in your mind, picturing that individual in their very best light, and saying to that individual, may you be happy. May you be safe. May you be at peace. And then picture someone that you don't know very well. Could be someone in this room, could be somebody you passed by on the street today. You don't even need to know their name. Just picture them in your mind. And saying to that person, may you be happy. May you be safe. May you be at peace. And then picture someone that you really struggle with. This is the person that knows how to push your buttons. Picture that person in their very best light. Say to this person, may you be happy. May you be safe. May you be at peace. And then finally, an image that represents every single person on this planet. Maybe it's an image of the earth or a sea of colors or faces, just something that represents all of us. And saying to every single person, may we be happy. May we be safe. May we all be at peace. And on your next exhale, straighten your legs if they're not already. Coming into your Shavasana for the next minute or two. Feel heavy into the earth. And I will call you out with a chant when it is time. Tierra mi cuerpo, agua mi sangre, aire mi aliento, fuego mi espíritu, earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, fire my spirit, fuego mi espíritu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Drawing in a deep, deep breath. Bringing some small movement back into your body. And then a little bit bigger movement. Till eventually you find yourself either rolling to one side or rolling up to a seated posture where we will close out class. Drawing hands together at heart center, thumbs pressed into the heart space. Bringing to the forefront of your mind your intention one last time before you take it with you into your day, off of your mat, to every person you encounter. May we all be happy. May we all be safe. May we all be at peace. Now, light within me honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of your afternoon. Come join me tomorrow morning at 9 if you have the time. I'm here Thursdays at 9 as well for all levels. So a little more action. Thank you to you at home. Great to see you. Thanks, Marianne. Thanks, Terry. Hope to see you soon.